Hello all, I'm Vidhan Bhonsle, developer advocate with Teradata. And yet again, today we are going live here at Teradata Possible 2025. We are in Los Angeles, and the topic for today is Teradata through the eyes of a data scientist. You know, LA is a beautiful place, but we have a person who is equally amazing, and it is hard to tell if this person is a good data scientist or a good human being. His name is Jonathan.
Thank you, Sean, for that, and I really appreciate you inviting me here. And my name is Jonathan Zhang, and I'm from Delta Community Credit Union. I've been working there for close to 2 years as a data scientist. So very happy to be here to share my experiences with you all.
Awesome. So, Jonathan, we would like to understand your one line on your data mission for, say, 2025 or maybe 2026.
I think for 2026 for us is really to get our models, get our AI solutions quicker to the people who need it to serve our members. I think that's going to be our mission.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about the problem space that data community has, or and how Teradata solves that, or how Teradata fits into it.
At Delta, we have good data. being a financial institution, and we've been working with Teradata for decades. And as a trusted partner, as a speed platform, um, we're very happy with Teradata. And for the last few years, we've been really trying to add more functionality,
Okay.
both in terms of machine learning models and AI solutions.
Okay.
For example, one of the models that I built since I joined was our high value member churn uh, retention model,
Okay.
and in which we selected as actually the segment where we define as our valuable members, whether that might be tenure,
Okay.
their total deposit amount with us, or loan amount with us. So we covered about 30% of our high value member base. And that model has been in production for over a year, and it's being pushed out to people who actually serve the members.
Okay.
And that's one example that I can give you. We're in the early stages of actually developing AI solutions. Same thing, to have the people work to serve the members using that information in a more natural language setting.
Okay. So, as you mentioned that you have been leveraging Teradata, its products, its services for more than a decade. So, what recently has changed? How that usage has evolved?
Um, I think this is a very good question that um, people tend to think things are changing so fast, right? Accelerating because of the large language
Yep.
models. And there are actually things, for the fundamental things, from at least from my perspective, from financial industry's perspective, things actually don't change. In that we're dealing with people's financial information, bank accounts.
Okay.
So the reliability, the security is paramount.
Yep.
So because of that, those value themes, we actually, as a company or the entire industry, do not move as fast, for example, as a manufacturing company. So from that perspective, I think we don't change. Right?
Okay.
We have to make our data really good. What's changing is the tools and technologies we're applying towards those data, trying to help people serve our members better. And we're definitely trying to accelerate our pace of learning.
Okay.
And with Teradata, with our account folks and the consultants, to learn from you guys and to really pick up the speed on our side as well. So
Okay.
hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, totally. Now, uh, I would want to understand, or our audience would want to understand, what made Teradata your preferred choice? Any
Um,
specific points on that?
like I said, I've been with Teradata for 2 years, right? I don't have the entire history.
Okay.
I've been working with Teradata
Okay.
for decades. Based on what my experiences have been, and also what my colleagues have been telling me, what I do know, I've never been, uh, I've never had issues, right, resolving building models, building AI solutions.
Mhm.
Teradata was never the issue.
Oh.
Meaning I could create features quickly. It comes out in seconds. When I
Okay.
work on millions of records and even trillions of records, I go do some feature engineering, it comes back almost instantaneously. So with that kind of speed, it allows someone like me to experiment very quickly. I change the specification. I want to try different features. I can see the results right away.
Okay.
So that record cycle for us is paramount. If I had been working with a slower system, can you imagine that I change something,
Yeah.
I click my button, it doesn't come back for
Yeah.
minutes?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the frustration that
True.
I would have, right? So from that perspective, just my own personal experience, Teradata has been a great solution for us.
Awesome.
But besides product, I know on the personal side, uh, based on the interactions I've had with my colleagues, with my superior,
Mhm.
you guys have great support for product solution. When we have issues, we have technical difficulties, you guys, anytime we make a call, the help is there. So I know as a company, we're very happy with you guys.
Awesome. Now, just to summarize, how Teradata has improved your, let's say, GenAI efforts like model development?
I think this is very complex in that because things are evolving, right?
Yeah.
Things are evolving. What I'm about to say today may not apply 2 months down the road.
Yeah.
But based on the roadmaps that we've seen, we've heard from Teradata folks, based on the work that I'm doing now,
Uh-huh.
right? I think on our end, we're trying to keep up. Meaning, we're not only going to develop our in-house solutions, So we learn the basics on that, right?
Mhm.
Develop our own solutions. But we're trying to write this way with Teradata and the solutions that you have to offer that's coming up on the agentic, on the data side, on the computing side,
Yeah.
on the agentic AI side. We're trying to keep pace with you guys and make sure we don't fall behind, right? We take
Okay.
advantage of what you have for us,
Okay.
right, in order to serve our members better. So I think that's what we're going to do.
Okay. Awesome.
I look forward to it.
Great. Now, people would want to understand your, let's say that if you want to understand your tech stack, how are you going to explain it in, say, 30 seconds?
In 30 seconds.
Yeah. That's
Teradata is
the
the
question.
foundation. Teradata is the foundation. Teradata is our data transformation foundation. This is not just a place we hold things,
Okay.
but it's a place we make the transformations that's needed for the analytical platform and
Mhm.
for the data science pipeline.
Okay.
So that's how I would describe Teradata. It's the
Okay.
foundation for everything that we do.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the language, for example. Where does SQL shines and where does Python shines in your whole data stack?
Tell you the truth. See, I
Yeah.
was in a session, right? I was in a session that talks about fraud detection, Vodafone, right?
Yeah.
And
Ryan Smith.
you guys actually blurred that boundary.
Okay.
In that someone without Python experience can actually go use ClearScape Analytics just through SQL can do some of the machine learning workload, and the vice versa.
Mhm.
Meaning someone like me with a lot of Python, but I can submit my Python through Python script, submit a query, SQL query.
Yep.
I can move my computation
Mhm.
up to Teradata
Yep.
to accelerate things. So when I say um, the boundary has been blurred,
Yeah.
so the answer should really be it depends, right? Depends on that person's background, depends on, but Teradata has made that possible for everyone. Right?
Okay.
Even people with little machine learning background can actually do it with ClearScape Analytics. That's great, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, for all those upcoming and emerging data scientists, they would want to understand uh, any of the use case that you are comfortable in sharing with us that you have worked on.
I already mentioned the high value member churn, so I
Okay.
won't spend time there.
Okay.
And some of the more recent work, one piece we actually began to build our own RAG. Uh, Delta community has a very extensive knowledge base that's sitting in SharePoint. And right now, folks are interacting with it through basic search.
Okay.
So it comes back with articles, a SharePoint article. Someone has to go in to look for the information they need.
Mhm.
So for people who interact with that system all the time,
Yep.
they know what they're getting. They know which article to go to find the information. So one of the use cases that I was involved in, we want to make that knowledge base more LLM friendly.
Okay.
So as you already heard, vector database all over the place today.
Yeah.
You guys are offering enterprise level scalable vector solution, vector storage
Yeah.
solution. So we actually experimented on our own using open source. So we actually vectorize all of that knowledge
Okay.
and build a chatbot to actually interact with that knowledge.
Okay.
And so that's one use case that I can give you. In the presentation that we had yesterday, Sue and I, we did a little presentation.
Yeah.
We had a demo. That represents some of the early work that we're doing with agentic,
Okay.
AI, that line of work. And we're in the early stages in that Sue actually has lined up a set of agents
Mm-hmm.
that she envisions that as a credit union would use down
Okay.
the road. We're just beginning to develop the very first one. That's the retention agent that we have. So those are the two examples that I can
Okay.
give you.
So, out of these two examples, let's take any one of your examples. So, what was your, say, problem triggers in that use case, and what was your success criteria?
Yeah, this is where I'll do my best. In that I don't know the ins and outs of the company yet,
Okay.
but I know with churn model, as a credit union, our primary driver is obviously membership. And right now, Delta community has over 500,000 membership. And one of our corporate KPI is membership number.
Okay.
It's a number. And our bonus is right on it. Okay, so So this model that we build high value, we have two. We have
Okay.
new member churn,
Mhm.
and we have high value member churn model. They're instrumental in making sure we retain our customers
Okay.
and we don't run a leak bucket, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right? So that's one use case that I can give you.
Okay.
I think directly ties with our corporate objective.
Uh-huh.
And another piece of work that I'm involved in is next product offer. You can think of it as a um, cross-sell engine. You can think of it as a recommendation engine.
Okay.
There, we're essentially trying to do our best to make sure people sign up to our products and services when they need it.
Mhm.
Right now, our model is somewhat dated, so
Okay.
we're updating that.
Mhm.
And again, that one is also tied in directly with one of our corporate KPIs. It's
Mhm.
called services per household, SPHH.
Okay.
Again, that's one of the 5 key KPIs the company uses
Okay.
to decide what bonuses we get, what promotions we get, so or what market recognition we get.
Yeah.
So it cannot be any more direct, right?
Yeah.
Our work. So that's the thing that actually pleases me the most,
Mhm.
because I've certainly been involved in enough projects where we don't get that direct connection,
Okay.
and things get buried, nowhere. So hopefully that answers your,
Yeah, yeah.
what your.
And talking about the model, how are you scoring and testing the model to get the result that you pass on to the business? Uh,
Um,
is it a batch scoring that gets stored in Teradata, or real-time lookup against features in Teradata?
I think here we probably do it just like anyone else would,
Okay.
in that we do both.
Okay.
And again, going back to high value member churn, we do daily scoring. So the same member gets scored every day.
Okay.
And for new member churn, we do it when they come in at a certain point in time. They only get scored one time. So those are batch modes.
Okay.
But in terms of access to that information, that's real time.
Yep.
So someone go clicks either on the BI interface or they go call that information that comes directly to them.
Okay.
So we're definitely trying to get to the point where people are calling APIs. The
Okay.
API is sitting on live data without with some latency requirements, obviously. So it's not going to be 1 day delay. We're trying to get to that. That's part of our 2026.
Oh.
And Teradata, I know will definitely prominently feature in that configuration somehow.
Okay.
I know that.
Now, another very good question: baseline versus final model. What tipped your decision?
Well, this can be a little bit tricky to answer because baseline, from data science perspective, we consider baseline as a simple model you try first. So you establish a baseline metric,
Okay.
and then you go try different versions of the model to see how much your model performance improves. But from business perspective, usually you have an existing operation already. So usually baseline starts there. So whatever you're doing there, trying to get a measure of that and see whatever you're doing on top of it is improving.
Okay.
And at least the work I've been involved in, we've primarily focused more on the scientific part of it.
Okay.
Meaning whatever I build, I make sure the model that I'm building is actually good. And whether that improves the business operation, we take that as a sign. And I'm not involved. I help data analysts or financial people to make that piece, to tease out that piece. But that's a much more complex measurement than simply measuring the effectiveness of a model, right? So hopefully that so it depends.
Yeah.
One is trickier. Business performance is always trickier to measure without A/B testing, as you would know.
Yeah.
As you know, yeah.
Another tricky thing to do is feature engineering, and any feature engineering pattern that proved reusable for you, which can be used in your across different use cases. Any such patterns you have?
Yeah, feature engineering is really the name of the game, at least from my background. In that, it not only drives your model performance, in the end, it drives the explainability.
Yeah.
Because whether you use variable importance, whether you use SHA values, the data science audience will know here, whatever you tease out, the effect of those features, those features better tie in with the business operations directly. Otherwise, it's very hard for business folks to say, what does that mean? I can give you an example for the high value churn model. it's primary for us to be able to actually explain it. And so we didn't go the route of, for example, take very sophisticated neural nets or fairly sophisticated ensemble models. We didn't go that route.
Okay.
Because the SHAP values coming out of there sometimes can be unreliable.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, we went to the most straightforward model, logistic regression, right? But we took the approach of credit risk scorecard approach.
Okay.
Where we did a lot of work on features to make the models flexible to fit the pattern that we're trying to fit. So at the end, what we got for every score we get, we know exactly how people got that score.
Okay.
Every feature, this feature contributed, for example, this person hasn't had any activity in the last 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
He will be subtracted from his score, maybe 80 points. So that person gets dinged 80 points.
Okay.
And immediately someone drops in, let's say, $10,000 in their deposit account.
Yeah.
That person's score is going to be rewarded by 50 points. And every single point change, just like your credit score,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's from Experian, FICO, can be traced back to an operational feature.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we're very proud that we did, and we didn't follow just we didn't do the greatest data science model, but we focused on explainable, easier, and also performing.
Yep.
And even with that approach, our area under the curve is 0.9, over 0.9. So that gives you, so feature is important. Feature is that's the connection between business analysts and data science.
Okay.
And operations.
Yeah.
So one must put in the effort to make sure you do good features. And this idea that deep learning generates automated features, for a lot of the situations, I don't think that's the way to go. That's just my opinion.
Great answer.
That's a good question.
Now, let's talk about generative AI. And Delta community has introduced LLM to their work. Given you are a financial industry, in a financial industry, how do you do that?
Yeah, I think here I'm gonna just paint the realistic picture that I'm seeing from my position as a data scientist. I think culturally, from regulation perspective, the financial industry is I don't think we will be early adopters. Meaning, many companies, including mine, probably will take watch and see. This is how we adopted ChatGPT, for example.
Okay.
We started out with very limited use cases, only gave access to a dozen people. These dozen people were tasked to actually test out all of the potential issues we had. So I was part of the testing. We were testing code evaluation, code summary, code commentation, all of that, and the code generation. And to make sure whatever secret that we have embedded in code doesn't get communicated up to the cloud and someone can steal it. So very cautious. So it took us a year to go from the testing team, about a couple of dozen people, to about half of the corporate. It took us over a year just to open up the enterprise account for them. So in our case, some of the work we're doing, where we can actually gain access a little bit to the membership data, we had to do a lot of work to get that what we call policy exception. So our initial demands from that policy says you cannot apply, don't use any language models on membership data. You cannot load a file that involves membership data. You cannot type in things that involve membership data in your prompt. So very strict, right? So we had to apply for a policy exception, say we're going to do everything within our ability to make sure we anonymize, strip everything so that the information is safe. The demo we did, we took all of those precautions. So there's no point in time we have personal information out there.
That's great.
Yeah.
So when we talk about Gen AI, so as you mentioned, any particular guardrail that you would want to share with our audience?
This is, again, the guardrails. I have a different interpretation of guardrails. So from security and security and trustworthiness, the guardrails, I think you've heard a lot, right? But from data science perspective, I think the guardrails that we need to put in are essentially evaluations, meaning create test data where there is truth and golden answers. So you know what the proper response is. And then as you experiment with various versions, or whatever you're trying, you switch out models, right? You try different prompts,
Okay.
you try different embedding. Make sure the answers you're getting back are improved in relation to that golden answer. And this is the part I think a lot of experimentation. I'm not even very disciplined sometimes, and that evaluation step needs to be it. That's how you trace what you have done, how you
Yep.
improved it, and to be able to tell people, hey, this is what I did. Look at what LLM did to improve it.
Okay.
And without that guardrail, building the evaluations early into your process, and you're going to create a lot of problems down the road. So that's the guardrail as a data scientist I have in mind. But
Amazing.
for security and trustworthiness, that's for our
Yeah.
IT team security folks to answer.
I mean, every team has its own rule when it comes to guardrails, security. Totally understand that. Now let's go a little deeper. When you talk about agentic AI, you're talking about single agent, multiple agent. So what are your views and how you're using them?
Oh, this is even a tougher question. It really depends on the application. I know for some applications, single agent is okay.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean it's easy.
True.
Meaning, the agent may have to answer very precisely, cannot hallucinate at all, right? When you're dealing with member servers, someone's bank account, and that's a very stringent requirement. Accuracy, repeatability, accuracy. That's where LLM doesn't do as well, right?
Yep.
And so with single agency, it's even in that case, it's not easy. So some data scientist has to do a lot of work to make sure that single agent works
Yep.
to the requirements. When it comes to agents of agents, they can have the potential of hallucinating together, reinforcing each other's hallucination. That becomes entirely a new ballgame. And I think we haven't figured that one out yet. Right?
Okay.
When they can hallucinate together and create their own paradigms, that becomes an entirely different line of research. I think we're still tackling this problem because agents can be built on agents that's not individual agents that's not being well built.
Yep.
Right? Then the problems compound, propagate faster than you can imagine.
Yeah.
So it's a very profound question.
Okay.
And as an industry, I don't think we have answers yet.
True.
Hopefully, you guys in the year down the road will figure that out.
I mean,
for us.
if anybody has any question, please drop them in the LinkedIn chat, or you can use the YouTube live link too. Now, Jonathan is a very senior data scientist. So, Jonathan, you are working on data science. You are working on LLM, agentic AI. Any advice, any suggestion you have for our viewers who would want to get into the field or want to work on this?
The thing I want to say is this: as a data scientist, I cannot be more proud. I cannot feel more fortunate to be in this day and age where I get to catch this wave. But no matter what background you're coming from, what level, don't be afraid. Meaning, they have made working on AI, people who developing the frameworks, developing the products, they have made it so much easier to work in low code, no code, or high code environments. It literally takes lines of codes for you to do something that's working. So don't be afraid of experimentation. Don't be afraid of trying with the policy. Okay, you got to be permitted to do things in my line of business. Always ask permission first.
Yeah, true.
Don't ask forgiveness.
Yep.
That's the line I hear all the time. And so experiment, try. Don't be afraid to fail. But make sure you trace everything that you do. Because unlike traditional coding, traditional working in the data science, where your code, you build your own test case, and you know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
With language models, you lose that visibility pretty quickly if you don't know how to use tracing packages. So make sure you learn how to do tracing, you learn how to do evaluations quickly, but to get something working, no matter how hard the data is, you can build something fairly quick. So experiment and share.
Yeah, and be very off token and look for your budget also.
That's very good. Yeah.
Any advice to people, data sciences team that are planning to move from POC to production?
It's very challenging. It's very challenging for my environment because, like I said, we're conservative. We haven't been totally cloud friendly. in that even though our Teradata is in the cloud, but our data science pipelines are not.
Okay.
So it's a lot more difficult for us to actually deploy. So we deploy on Windows servers. We run our own scripting.
Yeah.
We schedule our own jobs, right?
Yeah.
And you guys are going to be coming in to make that all of that easy on the cloud for us.
Mhm.
Deploy, monitoring. So I really look forward to actually help from Teradata
Okay.
to make that part easier for us.
Now we are moving to a very special section where we are going to ask few rapid fire questions to Jonathan. So Jonathan, are you ready for that?
Let's go.
Here we go. First one, SQL first or Python first?
I already said depends.
No, but if you have to choose.
Teradata made it okay. Either one is fine. I'm
Okay.
person first. I'm Python first.
Everybody loves Python.
Python first.
To be honest, everybody.
But I'm submitting SQL queries through Python, so remember that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it.
Go ahead. Let's
so batch, micro batch, or real time?
prefer real time. Second batch.
Okay, awesome. Push compute to data or move data to compute?
Experimenting, move the data to compute.
Okay.
Deployment, move the compute to data. Move the computation to data.
Okay. Now, biggest headache or bigger headache for data scientists, data quality or feature drift?
Absolutely, data quality.
Okay.
Absolutely, it's outside of our control.
One metric to watch, if only one metric is there that you would 100% want to watch for.
Model performance metric tracking over time.
Model performance, right? Okay.
Make
One-
sure it's not deteriorating.
Okay. One must have guardrail.
For Gen AI, evaluations. For machine learning, feature engineering.
Okay, awesome.
Explainability of your features.
Most overvalued and most undervalued step in model delivery.
Most overvalued. How easy it is to build a model. It's not.
Correct.
Most undervalued. One click this, one click that. Nothing is one click. So
Yeah, true. Speed or accuracy?
accuracy when you deploy, when you develop, speed when you deploy.
Awesome. Top cost control?
This one is tough because I do most of the work on premises, so
Oh, nice.
I don't encounter this problem.
Okay.
But on the Teradata side, though, I think you guys have cost tracking for us, so
Okay.
I don't.
Awesome.
But once we're in the cloud, it's all going to be on the console. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So thank you, Jonathan. That was great. It was a pleasure speaking
Thank
with
you.
you.
yeah.
So we have Jonathan with us. If you have any queries, you can ask us. And apart from that, guys, we are today we have the last day here at Teradata Possible 2025, and we had a lot of fun. And if you are interested in knowing more, simply search for hashtag Teradata Possible on LinkedIn, and we will be more than happy to answer your queries. And hope to see you soon.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Teradata, for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.